But I have a question, Mr. Chair, and I want to direct this to Attorney Monsod, who is considered one of the experts of our Constitution. My proposal is limited to the economic provision, but can we limit Congress to the discussion of the economic provision, or when we call for a CONAS, which is the mode here, we open the Constitution and hindi na natin makokontrol kung ano yung papasok doon, no? Dahil gusto nga natin economic provision, pero baka pumasok naman political, baka pumasok naman iba pa, no? And the discussion will become open, no? So yan rin ho ang dapat rin natin tignan, and I'm sure Attorney Monsod can give us some guidance on that, no? On how to proceed in terms of process.
Sir?
Well, Senator, when you were not here, I was saying that actually our Constitution, by definition and by legislation, has been clarified, and there is a lot of liberalization already, as you said, except, of course, land, with which I agree with you. But in natural resources, on media, on advertising, on public utilities, there is EPIRA, there is the recent law. Why are you going to touch the Constitution when there's no need to do it? You trivialize the Constitution when you do that. Oh, by the way, I want to put a comma here. I want to put... I don't think that
sorry po, maputol ko po kayo ang pagbabalik po ng ating Senator De La Rosa. Sige po.
Yeah. And then there are people who say, well, it's already 35 years old. We must look at it. The U.S. Constitution has been there for 240 years, way before there was any of these things. 27 amendments. No massive revision or sweeping change in their constitution. And they find ways and means to interpret it. And that builds trust in government and in our institutions. Just because it's been there. Now, I notice, doon po sa question na structure. Is the problem structure or people? The checks and balances nandiyan po. Independence of the Supreme Court, nandyan po. Lahat nandyan na. Is it because of the structure or because the people who are appointed there defer to the power? And that's based and rooted in a dynastic feudalistic system that we have to get rid of. And you can't get rid of it by a big bang theory of a sweeping change in the Constitution on structures and everything. The Puno Committee is a new constitution. It's not a revision of the Constitution. It's a new constitution. You read through it, 82 pages of it, 150% longer than the 1987 Constitution. So what I'm saying, sir, is that are we barking at the wrong tree, on this? And if we want change, we have to change from the bottom. And it takes a long time to change culture and the behavior of people. And let's start with the barangay elections in December. Once we postpone it to 2023, those barangay captains would have served over 7 years when their term should only be 3 years. Is that a problem of structure? It's a problem of people postponing the elections, and now they want to postpone it again. It's a political move. It is not something for the country. And that's what we're doing. People abuse the power of appointment, don't we? We see that all the time. Every administration wants somebody who agrees and will defer to him or her during the 7 years in COMELEC. I would put in the law a prohibition that the COMELEC cannot be appointed to any position after serving in the COMELEC. Because I know a lot of COMELEC people who defer because they want to go to the Supreme Court. Yes, sir.
Ang sinasabi po ng ating bisita ni Attorney Christian Monsod, ang konstitusyon po ay walang problema. Ang nagiging problema ay yung mga gumagawa ng batas at yung nagpapatupad ng batas. Yun po ang malinaw na sinasabi po ninyo. Sa loob po ng lagpas 30 taon, ito pong konstitusyon ang ginagamit natin. At tayo po na mga mambabatas at yung mga elected official ang nagiging suliranin. Yun po ang ayon sa ating bisita. Sumasang-ayon po ba kayo dito?
Mr. Chairman, I beg to disagree. Kasi po, mahabang debate na po yan eh. Parang yung debate po yan ng form over function, function over form. No? Ang ibig pong sabihin, yung institution po ay importante kasi yung institution yung magkocontrol sa tao. Kaya nga po tayo may mga batas. Kung hindi po natin dalagyan ng mga limitasyon, regulasyon, ang behavior ng tao ay hindi po natin makokontrol. So, for example po, nung nagkaroon po ang ating saligang batas ng anti-dynasty provision, ngunit hindi naman po ginawang self-executing yung provision na yun. Hindi naman po binigyan ng ngipin, kumbaga, patuloy po ang political dynasties hanggang sa araw na ito. Pero kung nagkaroon po sana ng maliwanag na definisyon ang anti-political dynasty noong 1987 Constitution, baka po makokontrol po natin. So ang ibig ko pong sabihin, totoo po na importante ang mga tao na nakaupo. Ngunit kung lalagyan mo siya ng forma, lalagyan mo siya ng mga limitasyon, lalagyan mo siya ng regulasyon, makokontrol mo ang kanyang paggalaw. At napaka-importante po na yung ating saligang batas ay makapagbigay ng mga gabay sa mga tao na manunungkulan para sumunod ng tama, para maging maayos ang kanilang pamamahala.
Sige po. Sige po.
Yung anti-dynasty provision is precisely the example of why we cannot trust legislator to do some things. Sabi nila, the legislature told us, kasalanan ninyo yan, hindi nyo nilagay dun sa constitution yung definition of a dynasty. I'll tell you why, sir. Kasi po, nandili-discuss namin yan, sabi namin, ang sitwasyon ngayon is 4th degree, first cousins. But over time, baka ang problema as we mature as a democracy, baka 2 degrees na lang. And after another 10 years, baka hindi na kailangan ng batas dahil meron tayong true democracy that is not feudalistic. Yan po ang rason kung bakit hindi nilagay ang degree dun sa Constitution. We trusted Congress to do its job. It did not do its job for 35 years. Now, are you telling me that if we change the Constitution, yung papasok sa Congress, lalagyan niya ng second degree. In 2018, sabi ko po, if we can, tell us you can trust you, why don't you pass a law in 2018 applying an anti-dynasty provision to the 2019 Constitution? Show us that you're sincere about that. They did not pass an anti-dynasty law in 2018 to apply to the 2019. When that Constitution is put together by Congress that's dominated by political dynasties with their own self-interest, what kind of constitution do you think they will come out with? They didn't even do the challenge of 2018. That's what I'm saying, sir.
Apo. Ano po kaya sa palagay niyo po dyan ang pwedeng maging solusyon kung ang nakikita niyo pong problema ay yung mga nai-elect ng mga opisyal? Ano po sa tingin nyo sa kanila po, ang kanilang mungkahi ay baguhin natin ng konstitusyon, kailangan gumawa tayo ng konstitusyon na magkukontrol dito sa mga mambabatas, sa mga elected official. Kayo po, ano po ang sa palagay po ninyo?
Ito po ang solusyon namin dyan. You don't start at the top with a big bang theory. You start at the bottom. in the barangay. The barangay is quasi-judicial, quasi-executive, quasi-legislative. Diyan po, and I'm telling this to the church and to the civil society, let us put poor, responsible people. The poor should control the barangays. That's why they should, of the 42,000, give them the power at that ground level, support them, those who are good, poor people there, para maalis na yung mga dynasties all the way to the barangays. In next 3 years, control the municipalities. In another 3 years, control the provinces. In another 3 years, control the national elections. It's a long-distance run of commitment and endurance. But until we get a new generation of leaders who come from the poor, there will be no real change in this country.
Maraming salamat po. Hingin ko naman po yung sagot ni Manong Generoso.
Pagka po, with all due respect to Attorney Monsod, pagka ganun po ang susundan natin ay abutin po tayo ng second coming ni Jesus Christ. But ang tanong po is, ang problema po ba ay sistema o tao? Ang tao po ay hinuhubog ng sistema. Kung hindi po natin pwedeng pagkatiwalaan ang mga nasa Kongreso, paano ba sila naluklok sa Kongreso to begin with? Sa pamamagitan ng sistema na nilikha po ng konstitusyon. So we are caught in a trap. Napapaloob po tayo sa isang trap na hindi natin alam kung paano tayo lalabas. At matagal na po tayong nandito. Ang babaguhin ba natin ay yung sistema o hihintayin nating magbago yung tao? Ang tao po binabago ng sistema. Pagbibigay po ako ng ilang halimbawa. Sa Metro Manila po, walang sistema ng trapiko, meron po ba? May rules bang umiiral ng trapiko sa Metro Manila? Malabo, magulo. Kaya ang mga nagmamaneho po dito, bara-barabay. The same driver po, papuntahin nyo sa Clark na may sistema ng trapiko, nandun po, iba ang behavior. Di ba? Pumunta na Subic. Pagbalik ng Metro Manila, nandiyan pa lang, kalalabas pa lang ng NLEX, bumalik na sa dati. What am I saying? May kinalaman po ang sistema sa paghubog ng behavior, uugali, at actuation ng bawat tao. Ito po, ano ba ito? Sistema ng komunikasyon. Nung bata po ako, wala pang cellphone. Pagka mag-good night ako sa nanay ko at lola ko, kailangan kong lumuhod. Ngayon, ite-text o iba-viber nung anak, Dad, Ma'am, Lola, good night, nasa kwarto na. The behavior has changed drastically because of what? A simple system of communication. Systems and structures of society govern human behavior. Kung ano po yung nilikha nito, ayun po ang magiging ugali ng tao. So ito po, ang konstitusyon na ito, kung pag-uusapan natin dynasty, dahil lumikha ng dynasty, pinabayaan ng mga dynasty, when do we expect to get rid of dynasties in the Congress and in the local governments? Not in our lifetime, not even in the entire lifetime of Jesus Christ, unless we change this document. Wala po. Wala po kahit barangay. Hindi po mangyayari sa barangay. Mahirap iluluklok natin sa pwesto. Kumandidato po ako wala akong pera Hindi po mananalo ang mahirap. Pero dito po, sa komprehensibong pagbabago, binibigyan po natin ng kapangyarihan na magbuo ang mga mahihirap ng partido, tulungan ng Estado, ng gobyerno, na mabuhay ang mga partido ng mahihirap. Meron pong provision dito. We walk the talk, ika nga. Lip service po tayo sa nakaraang. Bata pa po ako, narinig ko na lahat. Ang nire-report po sa media araw-araw. Maliit pa ako, narinig ko na kay Johnny De Leon, the same problems. So wala po mangyayari kung ganon. What I'm saying is, structures po ang mahalaga na baguhin natin.
Opo. Maraming salamat po. Meron pong sasabihin sa atin ang ating mahal na Senador Ronald De La Rosa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just would like to add to the point of Mr. Dingdo Generoso, yung regarding sa gusto ni Attorney Monsod na paupuin yung mga mahirap sa barangay. Wala po akong problema doon. Maganda po yun. Ang idea, napakaganda. Pero please, do not expect too much kapag nakaupo itong mga mahirap na ito. Dahil experience ko talaga yan. Matagal ako nang napapansin sa barangay na. Kahit na hindi sa barangay level, sa municipal level or whatever, mabuti sana kung yung tao mismo ay talagang ma-maintain niya yung kanyang standard sa buhay forever. Pero alam mo, meron dyan, marami nang naging barangay kapitan na mahirap. Binuto siya ng taong bayan dahil siya ay mahirap. Pero nung nakaupo na, yumaman, nagbago ng ugali, sir. Nagbago na ugali. Hindi na siya proper. Parang nakalimutan na yung pinagdaanan niya. Sa totoo lang, maraming ganyan na nangyari na politiko. Nung mahirap pa, okay lang. Pero nung nakaupo na tapos nakatikim ng sarap ng buhay, umangat ang pamumuhay, nakalimutan na niya yung kanyang mga mahirap na constituents. But that's another point, Mr. Chairman. Yung natanong ko sa iyo kanina, Mr. Chairman, kung nabanggit na niyo tungkol sa party list system. At yung lang, ibanggitin ko lang uli. Kay Sir Monsod, alam mo, mataas masyadong respeto ko kay Sir sa pagdating dito sa Constitution dahil ikaw na lang ata na nakikita ko ngayon na constitutionalist talaga, Sir, na patay natin yung iba. Parang, yung nga, Sir, gusto ko lang yung spirit of yung party list system, yung intention nyo noon paggawa ninyo ng Constitution, yun talagang intention nyo, yung marginalized members of the society ma-represented sa legislature, sir. Yung ba talagang interest ninyo noon, yung intention ninyo? Thank you, sir.
Yung marginalized ho, not only economically, because ideology, also political thinking, some people have good ideas. They never get to Congress. Hindi sila mananalo sa district. That's why we said they may have enough constituency nationwide but not to win in a district. Yung reserve seats ho, were only for the first 3 terms na umpisa ng party list. After that, it's really proportional representation. And it's not just the marginalized economically, but marginalized in terms of thinking, ideology, and so on. And the result in Congress, unfortunately, not very many, because that has been abused, as we know, by politicians, yung party list system. But the quality of the debates in Congress improved because of the party list system, because everybody was heard. And they don't have to use arms in order to let their thinking and ideology be appreciated by others. Di ba? Still look at yung bayan muna, ang dami nilang representatives. Ngayon mas kukonti ang representative nila. The people are thinking. Talaga bang pinamula yun yung aming interest na itinulak nila? Nabawasan ang representation ng bayan muna. So, the people are thinking, but give them the chance. Tama po yun, wala pong pera sa barangay. But there are many good young people at the barangay level that should be helped in winning in the barangay. It's a step-by-step process. I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory. And if it takes us 15 years or 25 years, then so be it, until we become a real democracy. Let me just give an example. You know, the French Revolution of 1789 debunked the principle or the fiction of the divine right of kings. They changed it to the sovereignty of the people. And so we ask ourselves, Is the democracy we have, is it sovereignty of the people or a fiction of it? And that's where the political dynasties come. Until we dismantle the political dynasties by voting for the poor from the bottom up, there is been no change in the Constitution regardless of your structures.
Yes, sir. Mabalik lang rin ako doon sa sinight ni Mr. Hiniroso kanina, sir, na ako I for one, gusto ko talagang matanggal yung party list system sa konstitusyon natin. That's why I'm supporting Senator Robin Padilla. But kasi yung nga, sabi mo, naabuso yung party list system. And you agree with me. Paano naabuso yan? Because the system provides the avenue of abuse. Pinalao natin sa sistema natin through that constitution. So in order to cure the situation, we have to change the system, I think. Sir. Yes, sir.
I think you were not here. I was saying there are 3 amendments to the party list law that should be made. One is take out the limit of 3 representatives. 2, take away the provision that allows non-member, organic member of the party, allows him to run if he has a track record of advocacy. That's a loophole, right? And number 3, put an anti-dynasty provision in the party list system.
Yung bisita rin na si Sir Orion Perez Dumdum. Prop, sensya ka muna at hilingin namin bukas. Sige po, gusto niyo po Sir Orion, sige po, nakataas po ang inyong kamay. Meron po kayong ilang minuto para makapagsalita.
Okay po. Thank you po. Maraming salamat po Tagapangulo, Sir Senator Robin Hood Padilla. Meron lang po ako mga sasabihin ditong mga rebuttal po sa mga medyo may mga pagkakamaling nasabi, mga blatant mistakes po na nasabi si Mr. Monsod sa kanyang mga sinasabi kanina. Meron po siyang sinabi kanina na yung Constitution ng USA ay nasulat habang ang USA daw ay isang equal society. Sobrang mali po yun. Sobrang mali po yun. May slavery po sa USA nung time na yun at marami pong mga puting indentured servants. Very unequal agrarian society ang USA nung time na yun. And they even had slavery, not just slavery, the US Constitution considered slaves to be 3/5 of a white person in the counting of congressional districts. Yun po yung tinatawag nating the 3/5 compromise of the US Constitution. So mali po yun. May sinabi rin po si Mr. Monsod that the World Bank has never put as a hindrance the Constitution. Mali po yun. Meron pong 2018 document ang World Bank. Let me just bring this up. This document that's mentioned. Meron pong sinasabi dito sa tawag nito, page 9, top 10 policy actions. Number 4 among those is reduce restrictions on foreign investors. Yung po yung nakasulat. And naka-mention talaga doon yung constitution talaga. Sasabihin ko rin po bakit mali po ang pagkakaroon ng constitutional restrictions sa 1987 Constitution. Wine-weaponize po ito lagi ng mga kumukontra sa ilang mga kumpanya. Ang FedEx po ay nahatulan na hindi raw sila constitutional dahil majority American-owned daw sila. At sinabi po, kahit hindi totoo, sinabi po na public utility raw sila. Ngayon, ganun din ang nangyari sa angkas, sinabi rin na sila raw ay public utility. Yung pala, hindi sila public utility. Pero misinterpret sila as a public utility. Actually, they are an IT company. Ano sila, may application po sila, mobile app para mag-ride hailing. Hindi po sila public utility. Pero sinabing inaabuso po ang Constitution para kontrahin sila. Dahil ang kanilang owner dati, ang kanilang chief owner ng company ay si Angeline Tam, na isang Singaporean. Buti na lang si Ma'am Angeline Tam ay may Filipino husband na si George Royeca at dun po pinalipat ang mga majority shares. Kaya hindi na sila nasama dyan. Pero laging wine-weaponize ang 1987 Constitution para sabihin na itong kumpanyang ito ay hindi pwedeng pumasok sa Pilipinas or whatever. Yan ang nangyayari. Another one, dynasties. Sabi ni Mr. Monsod, dynasties. In reality, ladies and gentlemen, the 1987 Constitution worsened dynasties. This comes from the research of Dr. Pablo Querubin. He's not Filipino, he's a Colombian PhD. And he basically showed that it was the introduction of term limits that forced incumbents who were still enjoying popularity and confidence in their constituencies to field family members to continue their projects. Kaya dumami po ang mga dynasty sa Pilipinas dahil sa 1987 Constitution. Yun po ang isa sa mga major reasons. Now, structure or the people? It's the structure. The people are the result of the lousy structure. The way people behave is the result of the lousy structure. I'll give an example. North Korea versus South Korea. Same ethnic group, same people, same culture, pero different systems. Ang isa komunista, ang isa kapitalista. Iba ang kanilang economic system. Tingnan nyo ang nangyari. Sino ang mayaman? Sino ang sobrang mahirap na ang mga tao kinakailangan kumain ng tree bark dahil sa sobrang hirap nila. Yun po. When a sports team does poorly, you don't get rid of the team's players. You usually replace the coach, and the good coach uses a different system, okay, a different way of playing from the old coach using the same team players. Yun po ang nangyayari. It's a different system that is used by a different coach. Kaya nagkakaroon ng wins yung isang team na pareho lang naman yung mga members dun sa dati na iba yung kanilang coach na at iba rin ang kanilang sistemang ginagamit. Tapos sinasabi ni Mr. Monsod, there is no literature in the world that says that one system is better than the other. Totally wrong. There is so much, a plethora of literature, particularly on federalism and parliamentary systems. Federalism, Dr. Ronald Watts, Dr. Donald Horowitz, Dr. Michael Breen, Dr. Gabriel Lanre Adiola, Dr. Tatu Van Hanen, so many others. There are hundreds of them. You look for them. You can Google. May Google na po tayo ngayon. May internet na po tayo ngayon. I am an OFW and I work in the IT industry. Kaya ganito po yung ginagawa ko. Nag-research po talaga ako. And I really would like to emphasize to Mr. Monsod, please update your knowledge, sir. Parliamentary. Why is parliamentary better than presidential? Dr. Juan Lintz, Dr. Fred Riggs, Dr. Arendt Leiphardt, Dr. Cindy Skak, Dr. Alfred Stepan, Dr. John Gering, Dr. Strom Thacker, Dr. Carola Moreno. So many PhDs internationally. In fact, it is already pretty much understood worldwide that parliamentary systems are superior to presidential systems. Matagal na pong napag-usapan yan. That is exactly why Claro Imrecto in 1949 was already pushing for a parliamentary system. So,
Sir Orion, wala na po tayong oras. Pasensya na po. Meron po tayo uli bukas. Amin po kayong iniimbita. At paalala ko lang po sa lahat din ng ating mga bisita para maiwasan po natin yung sakitan o anumang mga emosyon. Mas maganda po na lagi pong patungkol sa chairman ang atin pong mga sinasabi. Huwag po natin ididirekta sa ating pong bisita para mas maganda, para wala pong personalan. Tayo po ay nagpapalitan lang ng mga opinyon at mga kaalaman. Pero bukas po, aasahan po namin kayo lahat na ipagpapatuloy po natin. Pero bago po kung ito tatapusin, baka may gusto pong idagdag si Sir Monsod.
I just wanted to say that in the US, I only made a distinction with emphasis on civil and political rights. There was slavery, but that's civil and political rights. But social and economic was not a primary purpose. That is we gave equal primacy in that case. So I just wanted to clarify that. And then the reason he gives why there is more dynasties are the term limits. Then why are they spreading horizontally and not just vertically?
Maraming salamat po. Yun lamang po mga mahal kong mga bisita. Ulitin ko po, bukas po, meron po tayo uli. Asahan ko po kayo. At wag po nating kalimutan yung rules po natin. At nagpapasalamat po tayo kay Sir Serapio, kay Sir Generoso, kay Sir Malaya, kay Sir Orion Perez Dumdum, at syempre po kay Attorney Christian Monsod. Maraming salamat po, sir.
May we thank you, sir, because the debate went very well because you know how to handle a debate. So let's do away with the presentations and just debate.
Maraming salamat po, sir. Kay Attorney Katrina Monsod, maraming salamat po.